All right. Well, we are back for another live event, but I'm super excited because today we have one of our strategic partners, Joy, with Joy Books with me. And Joy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Joy, and I'm with Joy Books. I was like, I don't know how to introduce myself more than that.
That's so good.
We are a fractional CFO company who also does bookkeeping because we believe that is the foundation to do all the other stuff. And we've been in business for about 8 years, and we help small business owners to medium size get a really good picture of their finances so that they know where they're going and if they want to exit at some point or if they really want to grow or they actually have a plan to do that. And it's not like, well, I hope it works.
Well, I mean, but bookkeeping is like super easy though, and most people just can do it themselves, right? Like payroll.
Uh-huh. I will say if you're like a one person business, there aren't a lot of transactions, sure. Like there's a lot of great resources. YouTube is great. But if you start to have a couple employees, you're doing accounts receivable, accounts payable, your time is better spent doing other things. Like I always liken it to marketing. Like we are not a marketing company.
Yeah.
I outsourced that as soon as I possibly could because it is bless the people who do marketing really well. That is not our jam. So like I will gladly pay someone to do it because gross. And that's how most people feel about bookkeeping. And, some of the like the even the higher level stuff is it's numbers, so it's kind of boring. But
Yeah.
like boring makes money.
It's funny to me because I think a lot of times because we're payroll, people assume that we do bookkeeping, and probably
Mhm.
conversely, people think, oh, you do bookkeeping, you must do payroll. And then as a whole, everyone just assumes that both pieces are easy. And like me as a payroll person, I originally set up my own books. And then the first time I did taxes and my CPA had all these questions, I was like, and then I outsourced the following year. I was like, I clearly don't know what
Yeah.
I'm doing. And then we had cleanup to do. Luckily, there wasn't a lot going on, but it's a very like special skill, and it's not. It's like junk in, junk out. I think just like payroll.
Mm. Oh, yeah. Like bookkeeping and payroll is different. And you can attest to my very dumb questions. Be like, what is this? What's happening? And it's like we're in the same industry.
Yeah.
And like granted, yes, I am a little bit more familiar with payroll than probably the average business owner. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm an expert in any way, shape, or form. Um, and also taxes. Taxes are a different world. Like we don't do taxes. We will gladly refer to someone to a great CPA. But that's a whole different world.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah, oh yeah, we get called accountants, CPAs, get asked payroll questions, and then I just refer them out to people who will give them the correct answer because I could answer it, but it's probably going to be wrong. So
Well, I think what's really unique, like about what we do, I know for Valor, we're always talking about our strategic partner network. And I think a lot of times when you get a referral, like you're talking about referrals too, it's truly like a handoff, like go talk
mm,
to them. But, when you and I work together, we're collaborating behind the scenes. Like if
mhm,
you have a question about something, you're going to ask us directly.
yeah,
We're going to figure it out. The client doesn't even know that we're talking. It just magically works. And so that's why I love, that we have that relationship, and I don't do the best job explaining it all the time. But we like that relationship. It's
mm,
not that we don't want to work with the client directly, but it's like that's not their area of expertise. So if there is a question about the payroll because of what happened in, the QuickBooks integration, like
great.
I want to talk to you about it, and we'll, figure it out or do whatever we need to do. Um, so it's just unique, and I don't know, we've known each other now, what, 5 years? years? Like since the
Sure.
beginning?
Since COVID, because we met on like, I think it was like an international like networking group thing.
Yeah, our first strategic partner, technically.
Yeah.
So tell me more, like, what businesses do you like to work with, don't like to work with, or like, what's the differentiator? Like, if you're a small business owner,
Sure.
what do you need to know about bookkeeping to find the right fit for a bookkeeper?
Well, the first part of the question, we work with any service-based company. So we don't work with like restaurants, nonprofits, product-based companies. If they have a little inventory, that's generally fine. But those things are a little bit of a different beast.
Mhm.
So we'll just refer you to someone who specializes in that. And then there was a second part of your question that just left my brain.
Couldn't tell you. We can move on.
Okay. Good question.
What, like, when you onboard a new client,
Hmm.
what does that process look like? And what's like the number one thing that you see small business owners doing incorrectly?
Ooh, I'm gonna go to the second part of that question. So, the biggest things I see is still mixing business and personal, and it's not like a small business thing. I see it in like medium to like larger size businesses, and I'm like, you're too big to do this.
Yeah.
So all of the people that have like a little bit of a smaller business who don't mix business and personal, you're ahead of the game because not everyone does that. Come on, brain, get it together. People
So
are
not that many people, I think, are okay.
that's okay.
With the business and personal, like when you say that, do you mean they are using a personal account for their business, or they're making personal charges on a business credit card, or like what is there something specific
Whoa.
that they're doing wrong, or is there like
Sure.
what's best practice for separating that, I guess would be a better question.
So if you have a personal card or personal account, so let's just use QuickBooks because it's the thing that most people know. If you have a personal bank account or credit card attached in your QuickBooks to the business,
Oh,
get that out of here.
yeah.
And also purchasing personal stuff on any of your business and credit cards. And the biggest reason is it breaks the veil of separating business and personal. So like, not to scare people, but like worst case scenario, like if someone, and I'm also not an attorney,
Disclaimer.
disclaimer, but it can really get you in trouble with the IRS and like mixing stuff. So rule of thumb, if it is business, great, keep it there. If you're like, oh, I just accidentally like keep the cards on different sides of the wallet or like leave one card at home. Do what you got to do. And also selfishly, it's a really big pain in the butt for your bookkeeper. I know it's self-serving.
It comes out. That's
Yes, yes. It's not the liability. It's all self-serving. But yeah, because even if when you mix business and personal, it's even harder at tax time.
Yeah.
So like now, granted, if you have a good bookkeeper, they'll ask you generally monthly, maybe weekly, be like, "Hey, want to double check? Is this business or personal?" But also, if you would like to talk to your bookkeeper less, don't mix them because then they don't have to ask you a lot of questions.
Fair. Okay. What about like for me, I know a big hurdle was setting up the chart of accounts, and I know enough to be dangerous. So again, I learned from my mistake, but I was like, oh, for sure. I know what a liability is. I know what a, expense, whatever.
Yeah.
It all got changed. So is something like that, like something a business owner could do on their own or not? Or is there like a template? Because we get asked about that a lot, like people
Sure.
trying to set it up. I'm like, I Same thing. I can't tell you, but if you want to go talk to Joy, she might be able to help you.
Again, it kind of depends. If you're a little bit smaller, you can kind of get away with, honestly, a Google. If you're, one or two employees, you have a couple assets, couple liabilities, I would recommend reaching out to a bookkeeper and asking if they'll just set it up for you. And honestly, most bookkeepers have a price that they'll just set that particular thing up for you. You don't have to do monthly stuff. You don't have to do anything else. You're like, hey, I just want everything set up. And it's whatever fee it is. So again, if you're a little bit smaller, you can probably Google it, which is, I know, probably not the best thing to say. But like, I remember when we were really small and it's like, I'm Googling everything. We don't have the money to pay anybody. So I will say there are some really great resources that, like, if you're not there yet, absolutely Google it. But like, if you are spending more than a couple hours a week on your bookkeeping, outsource it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like in QuickBooks, there's a ton of reports.
Mhm.
And I mean, I know the ones that I look at, but I kind of had to be trained as well. So, if you're a small business owner, are there specific reports that you should be looking at? And if so, how often? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes.
Selfishly, so I make sure I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Sure, you're doing beautifully. So yes, the three big ones is the balance sheet, the income statement, a lot of people call it the P&L, and the statement of cash flows. Balance sheet is all of the assets, all the liabilities, and the equity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an as of date. So It's essentially from the beginning of time to the end of the month, if that's the date, or the end of the year. And then the income statement is a very specific set of time. So the beginning of the month to the end of the month, or the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And same thing for the statement of cash flows. Now, I know a lot of people get a little like weirded out about the third one because they're like, I don't know what that is. Everybody feels that way. And it is a little confusing. It is a little confusing. The best way I like to describe it is it shows the money that moves from the balance sheet to the income statement.
I'm like trying to picture that in my head. I'm like, okay.
So like when you make a payment on a credit card or a payment on a bill, it's not going to show up on the income statement because the bill is already entered.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to show up on the statement of cash flow. That's also where you'll see the distributions and contributions for that time period that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll also show you the beginning cash balance and the ending cash balance. So again, it's just telling you where your cash, like where the cash actually went.
Mm-hmm.
Because most businesses should pull reports on accrual. Now, accrual is, it brings in accounts receivable and accounts payable. If you pull reports on cash, which is what probably 95% of people do for taxes, it just pulls in when exactly that expense happened or that service happened. So accrual is a better picture of what's actually going on in the business, if that makes sense.
Don't you have to choose one method or the other, though, for tax purposes? Are you saying like just be aware of the accrual reports so you have the full picture, even if you're using cash basis accounting?
So we recommend, like, for like monthly reports, quarterly reports, making decisions to do accrual.
Mm-hmm.
And only do cash for taxes.
Okay.
And honestly, the CPA or your tax person will ask for the reports on cash. There are rare exceptions where you will file taxes on accrual, but again, that's a tax person issue. So yes, if you're looking at your reports monthly, quarterly, yearly, look at accrual because it brings in invoices, your bills. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know that. We do cash basis, and I don't look at accrual ever. I mean, I should do. And
Well,
yeah.
if someone, if you don't do invoicing
Mhm.
or bills, accrual and cash will be very similar.
Okay.
So like, yeah, if you don't do those things, if you pull it on cash, but yeah.
Okay. Um, well, what else? What else do how do you help business owners? What do you get asked? Mistakes? I mean, the floor's kind of open. We don't have any questions coming in. So surprising. I mean, did they see we're talking about payroll and bookkeeping
And
today?
guys, I know, get your cozy blankets and coffee. This is everybody's dream.
Maybe we could do this at like 9 p.m. and then people can turn it on to go to sleep.
Fall asleep. Yes.
Maybe next time. Okay. But yeah, we'll kind of wrap up here. So like,
Okay.
but I'm just asking questions. So I want to give you the opportunity to, kind of speak to small business owners and whatever that may be in your heart.
My heart. Ooh. Yes. This, I have mixed emotions about saying this because it feels very self-serving. But again, I can't stress, if you're spending more than like a couple hours on bookkeeping, reach out. It doesn't have to be us. That's totally fine. Reach out to a bookkeeper and get a quote for a couple different reasons. A, it'll give you time.
Mhm.
And B, if you have a good bookkeeper that you can ask questions to, that's another really big thing. When you're looking for a bookkeeper, and if they ever like get annoyed about asking questions or anything like that, that's a good sign to maybe use somebody else. Like, and the reason I say that is like I've had that comment before. Like I've had now clients, like their previous bookkeeper, they're like, we just felt like that we were bothering them and like we could never really get an answer, which is a really big thing. I don't know what it is, but like especially like bookkeepers and like CPAs are like, we just never got a response or like reports, which baffles me. Anyway. So yeah, if you were looking for a bookkeeper, make sure that they love questions. We love questions. There is not a dumb question in the realm of questions. I've been asked everything from like, what's an asset? What's a liability? To like, hey, let's talk about the forecast that you created and see like where we need to go next. So like, there's a wide range.
Yeah.
There's not a dumb question. So yeah.
No, I love that because we're the same, right? We get excited when people have questions because that means they have an interest in their business and understanding, and we want to be the experts. But part of that is, giving them that enough to be dangerous information. I mean, if they want to learn a whole bunch about payroll, great, but I have yet to run into that business owner. So, I love that. And again, that's going back full circle now, like the strategic partner, like that's what that means. We connect with like business owners who work with small businesses, who are available, responsive. And so that's why, we love partnering with you, because there are a lot of options, and it's that relationship in the background that really changes the dynamic. So I can't help myself. I have to ask before we wrap up. What do you think about?
Oh gosh.
So I've been seeing a bunch of comments in like bookkeeping groups that I'm part of about the new QuickBooks. The new QuickBooks, just in general, there's a new interface. There's AI. Everything you touch, it wants like, do you want AI to do this? What are your thoughts on that? Because of course, AI is a huge topic right now.
Sure.
No one knows where it's headed, and it's just kind of getting shoved into just about everything that you use, right? Like Netflix is like, I think you'd like to watch this, and your email's like, would you rather say it this way? And so we're all like kind of turning into robots. And of course, now QuickBooks is probably the widest used tool for small business accounting. Tell me about it.
Okay. Well, try not to complain too much about the new QuickBooks interface because as soon as it happened, now maybe I wasn't paying attention and they did tell us that they were going to literally change everything. It's fine. I'm over it now. It's fine. They are trying to make it more like user friendly for a business owner, which I get.
Yeah.
But as an accounting professional, sometimes it's like, stop touching stuff, please. It's fine.
Yeah.
But in relation to AI, I think there's going to become a time where like really, really basic bookkeeping stuff will be
Could be.
yes, could be done with AI. I will say right now is for sure not there.
Yeah.
Like, and that's something we run into all the time of like, oh, you just like, hook up your bank accounts and like that does it all for you. And it's like, it can do a lot of things. But again, you need a professional to know when it's wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing is like, because we're in it all the time, it's our field. Like we know when things are like, oh, that's not right. Where someone who is a business owner, it's not their forte, might be like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just not in the right spot. And so like, I'm not opposed to it. I think it can be a great tool. If you know how to use it, great. But I will say for the business owners, you can't just hook stuff up and like it does stuff for you. It's not there yet. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We use, AI tools and because we research a lot for payroll, but we kind of are building out custom GPTs where it will only use .gov or state websites and this and that. And I kid you not, we've been in like these long chats with, some AI tool. And we kind of end up in like, are you sure about that? And then we're like, because, and we'll copy paste some source. And it's happened multiple times where it comes back and it's like, oh, sorry about that. I was completely wrong. And so it's funny how on one hand, AI is like coming in hot and, it's creeping into everything. But if you actually use the tools, you can see, now I don't know how long it's going to take for it to catch up, but
Sure.
I wouldn't let AI touch my payroll right now. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
It is not ready. And so it's like, but everyone, I imagine that everyone using it more and more is what's going to train it.
Sure.
To where it will be able to do more things. But for right now, we crack up because we'll be researching something and someone will come up with an answer and I'll be like, I don't know about that. And I'll go do my own research and I'll come back and be like, well, this. And then they'll put it back into whatever they were using. And it's like, oh, sorry about that. It's like, apology accepted. Like, where did that do? Like, you have the whole internet. How did you get this wrong?
Yeah. And then there will be people like me who it doesn't matter how good AI gets, I will still want at least a person that I can like reach out to that is like over it.
Yeah.
I just need to talk to a person, just like a real life person, just to make sure that like my payroll is golden.
Yeah.
Cause like, yeah, I don't want to be in my like 60s and 70s, like yelling at AI. I'm going to be that person. But like, I'm going to hang on to people as long as I can.
Yeah. I don't think people are going away. I just think the repeatable tasks will be more and more automated. And like you said, there still needs to be a person, that's training and managing whatever AI tools that you're using. I mean, we all use computers. Things break all the time. Normal stuff. Like it's not going to be a set it and forget it. So I was just curious because I kept seeing a lot of pushback on the new QuickBooks stuff, and I've seen it, and I don't know what it is, but
stop moving stuff around.
Yeah,
I think that's like well, I have a lot of critiques of QuickBooks, but stop just moving stuff. It's fine.
Yeah. Especially if you have SOPs, like now you have to go redo every single internal document. Like, it's fine. I'll just sit here and make looms for 7 days. It's yay.
Yes. Yep. And that seems to be the general consensus of the people that I talk to. Like, ugh.
Well, I guess we can wrap up. But if you want to tell everyone how they can find you, if they have questions, maybe catching this on a replay,
Yeah.
go for it.
Our website is joybooks.org. We have a form there if you want to work with us, or if you just have a question. My email is joy@joybooks.org.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here today. It's not fun talking to myself.
Thanks for having me.
And then I'm Christina Hageney with Valor Payroll Solutions, and you can find us online at valorpayrollsolutions.com. So we got one comment.
Yeah.
Mike Ritzma with Superior Trucking Payroll said, "Stop moving stuff around. Preach."
Thank you. Ugh, just stop touching stuff.
All right. Well, we'll end there. And again, thank you for being on. And maybe next time we'll do a bedtime sleep edition.
That's right. We'll lull people to sleep. Sleep is great.
All right. Well, thank you, ma'am. Enjoy the rest of this rainy day.
You too.